me. So, Gizo Tadele, are you able to see the slides clearly? And are you able to hear my voice clearly? All right, so once you've confirmed, I would like to welcome you all to the training. And so let me hope that the slide is very. All right, once again, thank you so much, guys. And let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this today's session. My name is Evans Rabare, and I will be the lead trainer for today. And with me on the chat box is Joseph Orwa, who will be our moderator. And I'd just love to just take a few minutes so that the participants who are already live can introduce themselves, tell us where they're joining us from, and what is their expectation for today's training. So as I mentioned, so this is a Google Digital Skills Training, which we've partnered with Google in delivering the training. And we're going to look at how to use data and insights to help grow your business. How to use data and insights to help grow your business. All right, so before we start, let me know who has already joined the session so that I can give a quick shout out to them. I can see we have Gizot Dale is already online. Thank you so much. Orwa is already with us. Thank you so much. I can see the Gesum Asfo. Thank you so much. And I can also see Chala Kabil from Chala Kabil is from Asosa, Ethiopia. Thank you so much, guys. So without wasting time, let us look at our agenda for today. And in today's training, we have three broad agendas, which is we have how to understand the right questions to ask. We are going to expand on this. What are some of the questions that you need to ask, which can help you in improving your service delivery? The second agenda of today, which you're going to look at, is how to identify the best tools to use. So we're going to see a number of tools that you're going to use in either gathering information, in either doing analysis. So all those tools, we're going to look at them and understand them in details. And then finally, we're going to look at how to understand and analyze your data. So once you have the data, you need to understand that data and some of the tools that is going to help us in just analyzing the right data. All right, so guys, just take a few minutes to familiarize yourself with the chat box. So in the chat box, that is where now we're going to be engaging. So remember, this is a virtual session, and we are only able to communicate through the chat box. So if you have a question, if you have anything, or you have any clarity, or if you have any requests, put it on the chat box, and Aura will be able to address them. And I will also pause to take a few minutes to address them. All right. So to our very first agenda, what words would you use to describe your customers? What word would you use to describe your customers? I'm pretty sure that the guys in the chat box, in your life, you've been able to sell something to sell something to another person, or you operate a shop, or you operate a family shop, and you definitely have customers. So how would you describe your customers? Are they customers who usually engage you when they come to your shop? They ask you if you have some new products. Are they loving customers? Are they customers who would spread the word out there about what you're doing? Are they friendly, or are they customers that keep on bugging you with a lot of questions, keep on complaining? So I'd like to know, how would you describe your customers? Take a few minutes, just write on the chat box, how would you describe your customers? You can also write them in America. I'll be able to to see how it's being translated. So remember, we have in the chat box we have Amharic speakers as well as English speakers, but you're free to put it down in Amharic. We'll see how to handle that. All right. So I've given you some of the ways you can use to describe your customer, but I'd also love to hear from you. So let me see what you guys are saying on the chat box about how you can describe your customers. How you can describe your customers. Let me see what you guys are saying. Huh? So we have Caleb. Thank you so much for joining. We have Tadele is also joining from Dila, Ethiopia. Dila is very far from Addis. That is my thinking. But thank you so much for joining and spread the word that you have started so that other people can also join as well. All right. So let me run you through the process of analytics. And these are the four broad processes. We have the first process, which is what is my objective? What is my objective? So at the end of this process, what do I really want to achieve? What is my objective? What questions you need to address? So that is now the second process of the process of analytics. Where do I get that information from? So basically, this is talking about the platforms that you're going to gather information. It could be through word of mouth, it could be through social media sites, it could be through your website. So we're going to look at that in details. And finally, what do you do with the information that you've gotten? What do you really do with that information that you've gotten? All right, so in the next slide, we're going to look closer at what we mean by what is my objective. So let us look at some objectives that we have. For instance, as a person, my objective could be, I want to tell more people about my business. So remember, for businesses, usually they have a location. So if you have a location, and the collocation could be we don't have so many people passing, so people do not know what you do or the services that you offer. So one of the objectives could be you want to tell people more about your business, or you're in Buna business, or you're in the business of selling shiro, or you're in the business of selling theft. So you could have an objective of I want to tell people more about my business, and how do I really spread that word? You're going to look at that. And also one objective could be sell more of my products or services. So for instance, right now, if you're selling coffee and you have 20 customers, but you feel that that is not enough, you want to double the number of customers, or you want to triple, so that if you had 30 and now you want to have 2,000 or 3,000. So that could be another objective, which is a good objective in terms of sales and revenue. And the third one is identify my most valuable customers. So of course, you'll have customers, but of course, we have those customers that you really value, those customers who usually give you honest opinion, who usually buy your product. So you have to identify your valuable customers and how do you really treat them, because you need to treat them differently from the rest of the customers. And you're going to see who are these valuable customers. And finally, which is an example of an objective, but of course we could have more objective. And I'd really love to hear from the chat box some of the objectives that have not been listed here. Find new ways to engage with the previous customers. So for instance, if you had customers coming, for one reason or another, they left or they went to another person or they went to another shop, how do you engage them so that in a way they come back, or just to keep the communication going? So that could be one of the objectives. So let me know if the objectives I've mentioned are clear. If it is not clear, I will come back and explain them in details. All right. So the second process of analytics, which is what questions do I need to address? What questions do I need to really address? And here And to help us know the questions that we're going to address, there is a concept that is called the RAIN concept. The RAIN concept. So it is a structure that is going to help us know the kind of questions that we have. So if you look at the RAIN, it is a synonym, no, not a synonym, but it is an abbreviation. If you look at R, R is basically talking about reach. E is talking about engage. A is activate, and then we have nurture. So when you talk about RAIN, you're talking about who is my target audience and how do I reach them online? Who is my target audience? So target audience will depend on the kind of products and services you're offering. Your target audience could be youths between 18 to 35. That is an example of a target audience. Or your target audience could be bankers, those who work in Buna Bank, those who work in Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, Awash Bank, bankers, I mean. Or your target audience would be women. So women really love to shop. So if you have women clothes, your target audience would be majorly women. But of course, your target audience could be also business owners, depending on the service you're doing, or they could also be children. Another one is, are they finding what they need? So basically, if they go online and search for something, are they really able to find all the information that they need about your shop, about your store, or about the products that that you're offering? So are they finding what you need? So there's a question you can ask them. You can ask them, do you really find what you need? Or is there something that is missing that I need to also include in my business? So of course, if it is an hotel or a restaurant, are they booking? And of course, also, if you have customers that previously shopped with you, are they coming back? You need to know whether they're coming back. And if they're not coming back, what is the problem? And all these questions will help you to address some of the gaps that you might be having. All right, so the third process is, where do I get that information from? So you've asked the question, but right now, where do you get that information from? Especially now that there is Corona, there is the COVID pandemic, and you're not able to walk from one shop to another or from your one client to another to ask them questions. What would you use, or how do you get that information from? So that is what we want to look at. Where do I get that information from? So we are talking about tools I can use to get analytics and data insights. And where does those information come from? So let's look at it in our next slides. All right, so we will be looking at these tools in more details. So we have, if you look at those tools there, we have social media channels, we have organic search, we have your website, we have your paid search. So these are just like broad categories of some of the tools or some of the platforms that you can get the information from. So when you're talking about social channels, so basically we're talking about social media. And you will know that the commonly used, so the majorly used social media channel here is Facebook, Telegram. I don't know whether there's another one, but from my experience, there is Facebook, which is widely used. There is also Telegram. Some people also use YouTube, but they might say that the cost of data bundles is very expensive, so they might not use it. It might not be popular. And of course, some people also use Instagram, which also, from my experience, I've heard people saying that the cost of data is so expensive that they're not able to spend a lot of time on Instagram. So social channels, so see which content user engage with. So for instance, if you have an online presence on Facebook and you posted a product, you posted an image or a video about your product. So through there, you'll be able to see which content do users engage with. Do they like images, artworks? Do they like videos? Or they just like blogs? So you will be able to know that. So through social media channels, you can So we have measurables. So like if you post a picture, there are ways you can maybe even investigate and see, is my picture doing well according to the views that it has, people talking about it, people commenting, people sharing. So you can measure views, likes, follows, shares, among others. And of course, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, they have a strong reporting features. So we also have Facebook Analytics, and of course, Instagram. So you can open and see the reach. How many people has that post or your blog or your video has been able to reach? Where were those the guys who were able to see it? Where were they coming from? Were they coming from afar, or they were coming from Dila or Diradawa, or they were coming from Gambela, or right here in Addis? You'll be able to know. And then we have organic search. So organic search, identify what customers are looking for and align yourselves with the searches. So for instance, if I go to Google, which is the biggest search engine that we have right now, and I look for classic suits, like if I want to wear a suit, classic suit in Ethiopia, or if I want to look at the best cigar place in Ethiopia, it could be Yilma, it could be your Sharma, it could be somewhere else. So what search engine helps you with? It helps you identify which page. What organic search helps you with? Identify what customer are looking for. So when you go online, you'll be able to look at the keywords that people usually use to look for. So if you are in the cloth business, we have specific keywords that people usually use to look for products that are related to yours. So we're going to look at that in details and some of those keywords that you as a person could include. And of course, we have your website. So website is, of course, we know a website is all about, we have, many pages which have been grouped together under domain name. So for instance, we have let me say www.awashbank.com. So awashbank is the domain name, but www.awashbank.com is the entire domain name. And of course, that domain name is housing several pages. If you go to their website, you're able to find the homepage, the contact us, the testimonials, and all the information that you might need. So your website identify which pages have the most views and which cause users to disengage or bounce off. So let me ask you, have you gone to a website and you spent like 1 second or 2 seconds and you go to a different page? So that is now the bounce off rate. You don't spend a lot of time on a website because either you didn't like the user experience, just the general user interface, or you didn't get the information that you want. So immediately you go into that website, you switch off and go to a different one. So you're able to see what is the cause why people are not engaging with your page. And finally, we have page search. So when you talk about page search, you've seen when you Google something, and then in the search results, you find the first two search results are written AD. So those are some of the paid searches. So those are ads. So how can you market your product to customers using paid channels? So here, what I noticed is so many people are into Puna business. They're exporting coffee, they're exporting beans, and we have so many companies doing that. And how would you stand out from the rest? You could use paid search as an example. So you basically look at what are they looking for? What type of audiences do you want to attract? And of course, what I've noticed is people from abroad or in the diaspora are the ones who buy from here. So if you want to target guys from China, or if you want to target guys from Europe, or if you want to target business owners from America, you can use paid search. Because within paid search, there's a way you can filter your target audience, where they're coming from, and so many things in terms of their interest, in terms of their habit, where they're coming from, and so many things. Hopefully, you're going to get time to delve into that. And of course, we have the step 4, which is what do I do with the information that I've gotten? And here we're going to use insight and analytics. And what do I use it for? What can I do with it, and how does it affect my business? So basically, the information that you've gotten, how is it affecting your business, and how am I going to use it to improve whatever I'm doing? So here are some of the ways insight and data could be used. So you can identify market trends, ascertain your users' experience to better understand their path of purchase. So usually the path of purchase usually starts from the interest. So you have the interest, and you go to the search engine. You look for the product that you want. So there is that path that goes all the way from searching all the way to now adding the product into the cart. So where you add it into the cart and then check out. So there is the purchasing, there is the path to purchase. Then identify what content users like to influence your content marketing plan. And also there is leverage insight to shape your overall strategy. So these are some of the ways you can use data and insights to better your services or your products. So at this point, let me pause and see if we have any questions with us on the chat box. Let's see if we have any questions with us on the chat box. I can see. Let me see if there are questions we have with us. So Baru is saying, okay, I'm here to learn from you. Thank you so much. I can also see Lema saying, at the end of the session, if possible, to get a soft copy through the email. Oro is going to address that. And Caesar is also saying that I'm Caesar Lema from Chiro, Ethiopia. Thank you so much for joining. We have Baru also saying that he is from Addis Ababa. I think maybe is it in Arat Kilo or Sidis Kilo? Or, let me know. And also we have Tedele saying organic search. Could you explain with an example? All right, no problem. So let me see if I can explain with an example. Let me just do a quick search. So what do you want us to search? Let me see Buna, for instance. Let me see Buna. So let me stop sharing this and share my screen for the search, so that we can see what it has. All right, so okay, so that's the new tab. So I hope you're able to see that. So this is now the search. So organic search is that when I want to look for coffee shop, in let me say Cousin Cheese, right? Or in Addis Ababa, something like that. No, let me just say Cousin Cheese. So I'll be very broad, Cousin Cheese. So if I search for that, of course, you're able to see right from the map. You're able to see we have Wainua, they have Caveria, but now the organic search is this bit. So all this that appears here, if you don't see any AD to mean add, these are all organic searches. These are all organic searches. So let me use another example which is okay. So let me use car dealers, car dealers in Addis. Car dealers in Addis. So there is cars in Ethiopia. So this is organic search. There is Dina auto dealers. This is organic search. So I'm looking for the one that has ad, so that you can look at the difference between organic search, the one that do not have the ad, and the ones that have the ad. So normally, the organic search, they're usually in blue. Let me see. So I'm thinking of another keyword that we can use, and so that can bring us the organic search and the one that are being advertised, so that you can see the difference. So maybe let me see if there is another keyword that we could use. All right, let's try. Okay, let's try apartments. Huh? Apartment in Abyss for sale. All right. Okay. All right. So this is the best example. So if you look at this, there is this bit that is called AD. This is not an organic search. This is not an organic search. When you look at this, it's written AD. That is not an organic search. Right now, the organic search starts from here. Apartment for sale, apartment for sale. They don't have an AD, so they're free and they come out naturally. So that is what I meant by the organic search. All right, now let's go to our slide and continue. So I was at the point where I was expecting questions from you guys. Let me know if there is questions from you. All right, let me. I want to maximize it so that it. Just confirm that it's confirm that you're able now. You're able to see the whole of it, right? All right. So if you don't have any question, I will proceed. If that is okay. So our second agenda was how to identify the best tools to use. So we are going to look at what are some of these tools that we're talking about. And to help us understand that, let me ask you, which analytic tools do you currently use? For guys who've used any analytics tools. Analytics tools that you've used either to analyze how your page is doing either on Facebook or Twitter or on Telegram or maybe if you have a website, how is it doing on website? So, which analytics tools do you currently use? So if you have guys from Addis Ababa University, do you have guys from Bonga University? Do you have guys from Deborah Brand, Adama? Do you have guys from Admas, Rift Valley? There is also Wolkite. There is also Arbamin. So just tell me, which analytics tools do you currently use? So I will pause for a minute and see what you guys are saying. Which analytics tools do you currently use? So just think about it. No answer, just put anything on the chat box. It doesn't have to be right. So we're here to learn, and I will also be learning from you guys. So learning is a two-way. Nobody knows everything. So all right. So let's move to the agenda. So now, here are the tools we can use. So here are the tools that you can use. So we have social. So we have social media. We're basically talking about, and of course we have so many social media platforms. But what is unique about these social media platforms is the fact that some are very common in specific regions or in specific countries. So if you ask me right now, Telegram, which is one of the social media tools, is very popular here. But if you go to Kenya, where I come from, it's WhatsApp. Another thing, Telegram is very popular here. But if you go to China, it's WeChat. If you go to America, it's probably something else, maybe Twitter or Twitter or WhatsApp. If you go to Russia, for instance, they also have theirs. And also India also as well has their own social media which is popular. So all these social media platforms, They're very popular depending on how the particular region view them, the experience with them. A lot of things are contributes to that. So we also have organic search. So as I've just explained, organic search. So we're going to look at Google Search Console and what is called Google My Business. So those are some of the tools that we're going to look at to help us explain the organic search. We also have website, and there is also, of course, there is Google Analytics. How you're going to see how to integrate it with the website and how it's going to help you just see which pages within your website are doing better. People visiting your website, where are they coming from, and what do they really like their habit, something like that. And then we're going to look at the page search, the one that I showed you had AD, that had AD was written in bold, and their Google Ads. All right, so one of the analytic tools is the Facebook Page Insight. How many of you have used Facebook Page Insight, especially if you have a business page? How many of you used the Facebook Page Insight? How did you find it? Did you find what you wanted? So, Facebook Page Insight can help you find out what people are engaging with on your Facebook page and how they're finding you. So if you look at the interface that you have there, you're able to see the activities. You're able to see the page views, the likes, the reach, the page engagement, followers, adjustment by time. So if I had time, if I wish we had time so that I can go to one of the Facebook pages that we have and see this in practical, so that at least you can know how do I even get to the page insights? What is the step? So that at least it becomes more practical as opposed to talking. So I just hope that you're going to have some time so that I can come back to that. So let us look at Google Search Console. So Google Search Console tool helps you to measure your site impression, clicks, position on Google search. So with Google Search Console, it can help you measure your search traffic, performance. It can also fix issues and make your site perform well in a search engine. So basically what we mean by this is, so Google Search Console has been made in a way that if there's a problem with the website, if it is not loading very fast, some images are very heavy, it's able to point out that there's a problem and it gives you the opportunity to fix. So that is now what we're calling fix issues. And from the Google Search Console, you're able to know what is the speed. So what is the speed of my website? So so let's see how you can test the speed of your website. So let's see how you can test the speed of your website. All right, so I want us to go to test. So there is developers. Okay, so I want to share my screen so that you can see how do I know that. So I want one of you to put a website that he or she wants us to test its speed, so that we can know if this website is really fast if it is really fast or something. So I'm testing my internet speed, but let me test my how to test website speed. So you can post one of the websites so that you can check its speed, and if the speed is the recommended speed. Kindly just take a few minutes and post one of the website. so that we can test its speed, and we can tell you that so do we have a website that you want us to check? Nobody. All right. So, for instance, I hope you're able to see this. Huh? So, if I want to test maybe Abyssinia Bank website speed, and then so it's going to tell me that Abyssinia Bank, what is its speed on the mobile phone, what is its speed on maybe on Telegram, no, not on Telegram, but on the desktop. So if you look at it, it's taking a few minutes. It means it's doing some analysis. And I'm hoping that it's visible. You're able to see it, right? Are you able to see the analysis? All right. So if you look at this, this is now the analysis that the page has given us. So it's telling us that Abyssinia Bank is ranking 13. 13 is very, very, very low on mobile. And if you look at it on desktop, it's ranking at 45, which is still very low. And if you look at it, it has a lot of fixes that it's telling us to do. So this is how to check whether the website that you've developed is ready for digital marketing or it has some issues. We will. Okay, let me try to zoom, please, and see if we are able to. I'm trying to see if. Okay, what I can do is let me post the link with you there, so that you can check for yourself, because so that is the link. You can try any website with it and test, and of course you can test it on on mobile. You can as well test it on desktops. And you'll be able to see some of the issues that your website could be having. All right. So if you look at the Search Console, what we're basically talking about, it helps you to find some valuable information. So if you look at the interface that you have there, you can see which queries bring users to your website, analyze your website site impression, clicks, position on search engine, and then submit sitemaps and individual URL for crawling. Huh? So when you're talking about sitemaps, when you have a website, when you scroll down, there is a page at the footer that has the links to all the pages that you have. That is what we're calling sitemap. So just go to any website. If you scroll down, you're going to find somewhere like a small page at the footer where there is all the links to the pages that we have. So that is the sitemap. And what sitemap helps with that, it helps crawlers to move through the pages very fast. So review your index coverage to make sure that Google has the freshest view in view. And also you receive email alerts when Google identify issues on website. So I told you about fixing. So it sends you an alert that your website has these issues, and also some of the possible areas that you can fix it. So see which URL are affected by these issues and tell Google when to fix them. So let's look at Google My Business. So when we talk about Google My Business, we are talking about a free tool which helps you to manage your online presence across Google Search and Maps. And Google My Business helps you create a listing which customers can use to engage with your customers. You can market to customers and increase your visibility using Google My Business. You can leverage on insight to find out how many views your listing had, How and where can can your customers find your listing? The actions customers are taking on your listing, and other interactions from your customers. So let me show you Google My Business, how Google My Business is. So Google My Business, so the best thing is the fact that Africa One is able to list your business, and even so let's look at what Google My Business is and how can you use it. All right, so let's look for Soko Coffee. Soko Coffee. Soko Coffee. So this is Soko Coffee. And this is Soko Coffee. So when you talk about Google My Business, it's this part. You see this part that has Soko Coffee, it has the website, it has the directions, it has the save and call. So this part is what is called Google My Business. And what you can see is the fact that when you come to Google My Business, just by a click, you are able to access the website. If you click here, you'll go directly to the website. And of course, here I'm being told that it has some connections. There is some problem with the security or something which they need to fix. But if you come here, you're also able to request direction. It will be able to tell you where the office is, and it will point that Soko Coffee is located here. So there is a gate to building or something. And the best part of this platform, it's completely free. All you need to do is to have your business location. You need to have the Gmail address, the phone number, and if you don't have the website, don't worry. Google My Business is able to create a free website for you. So that is how effective Google My Business is. So there is Soko Coffee, and also you can also search for any. Let's search for Taskmobi. Taskmobi. When you search for Taskmobi, Taskmobi is also on Google My Business. So it's able to tell you that Taskmobi, Taskmobi has a website. You can click to view what Taskmobi does, and you can see also, they've been posting a lot of things. There's a phone number, you can call them, and even those they've done some ads. And you can also look for any business that we've listed on Google My Business. So that is how effective Google My Business is. And that is what we've just talked about, Google My Business and how you can use it to increase your online presence. And the best part of it is it's free. You are not required to pay anything. All right, so let's go back to our slide and continue. So we were looking at Google My Business, which I've showed you how it is. All right, now let's look at Google Trends. So Google Trends is trend search feature that shows the popularity of a search term in Google. You can view whether trend is on the rise or declining. So if from the image that you have, you see there is like a graph that is increasing and decreasing. So with Google Trends, you can see whether there's a search feature or there's a keyword that is trending or declining. You can also find demographic insights, related topics, and increase queries to help you better understand the Google Trends. So Google Trends provide access to a largely unfiltered sample of actual search requests made to Google. So if you look at that, basically what it means, it's anonymized, which means the information, no one is personally identified. So the data that we have there normally will be personally singled out or identified. So it has been categorized, which means now determining the topic for a search query and then finally aggregated. So they've been grouped together. So this allows us to display interest in a particular topic from around the globe or down to city or right now. So right now, if you use Google Trends, if you use Google Trends, you will find that what is trending right now is the Adwa victory. That is what is trending in Ethiopia right now, because the holiday is coming up. So that is one word that is really trending. marketers right now, digital marketers are using Adware Victory Day to market the product. So you can just say, you can say something like maybe Africa 108, or you can say maybe Zenith, or you can say Rainbow Mattress is wishing you a happy Adware Victory, because it's one thing that is really trending, and it's known all over the it's known all over the country. And right now, we have vehicles running around, people celebrating. So that is one word that is really trending. So if you are a digital marketer, you could use that to your advantage. So let us look at how to rise above the above your competitors. So it's very, very, very important that you know this, because when you're doing a business, you're not the only person who is doing business. We have thousands and thousands of people doing similar business. And how do you stand out so that you don't close down because of lack of sales? So that's what we want to look at. Rise above your competitors or your competition. One, and not just rise above your competition alone, we want you to use Google Trends to help you in rising above everybody. And we have find relevant trending topics that I've just said. Like every day there's some trending topic. So if there is an issue or if there is a function somewhere, those are some of the things that contribute to trending topics. Monitor your competitors. So for instance, we have an e-commerce website called Hello Market. But of course, we have other e-commerce websites. So it's upon Hello Market to see what their competitors are doing and compare with theirs and see how they can improve. If they're doing better than their competitors, well and good. But if the competitors are doing much better than them, it's upon them to go and do some little research and see how they can stand, above the competitors. So we also have keyword research. So keyword research, there is something called Keyword Planner. So Keyword Planner is a tool that helps you to research all the keywords that are related to the topic that you want or that are related to your business. And then it will help you in knowing that these are the words that I need to include in my website or in my social media or in my video. So keyword research is very, very important. Because even when you go to search engine, you'll use keywords. And those keywords are the ones that are going to communicate with the crawlers and bring the search results. You also need to identify steady keywords for SEO. So when you're talking about search SEO, we're talking about search engine optimization. And search engine optimization is done in various ways. We have on-site search engine optimization, where if you have a website, you'll have to do a lot of things. Ensure that your header tag is okay, the pictures are light, and they're very clear, the codes are not jumbled up. So that is now the on-site optimization, search engine optimization. And then we have the off-site search engine optimization. So this is where now you use social media such as Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, Google My Business, blogs, to help you in increasing traffic to your website. So you'll be optimizing it. And finally, we have find topics by region. Target customers at a local level, region, or even on a global scale. So when you talk about region here, we will be talking about Amara. You can target. You can find topics by region, which is Amara, Afar, Tigray, Gambela, Benchangul, just Oromo here, Jima, Ambu, or Adama, something like that. So you can use Google Trends to help you find topics by region. So we have some topics that is trending in Addis here, which is not in Amara or is not in Gonda, for instance. So it can help you to do that. Let's look at Google Analytics. So when you talk about Google Analytics, so of course there is the app. You can find it an app. So there's the app version, and of course there is the website version. So understand your site and app users to better check the performance of your marketing content product. So with Google Analytics, you can add it into your website, and it's going to help you to better understand your site or even your app users to better check the performance of your marketing content or product. So when you're having a Google Analytics, it will be able to tell you that your ad is doing well or your ad is failing. And after that, now you should be able to increase a few things, adjust on your content. Google Analytics gives you insights. You can get insights only Google can give. So you can access Google unique insights and machine learning capabilities to make most of your data. So if you look at the image that we have there, there's a lot of data that you can get from there, right from page views, traffic. We have so many, and that is the best part for Google Analytics. And then you can connect your insight to the results. So analytics works with Google advertising and publishers products, so you can use your insights to deliver the best results. So when you get the analytics, you're able to see how the page is performing, and after that, after getting that, you can link it to your Google advertising, and then you're able to see if you're able to get results. All right, so at this point, before we look at the final agenda, I want us to look at the questions that we have. If I'm moving very fast, please let me know. If I'm moving very fast, please let me know so that I can slow down, because our aim is to help everybody understand. Oh, Etana is saying YouTube is not visible. Please zoom, okay. So we have Anwar Kemal saying, hello there from Wolkita University, thank you. We have Rameto saying that is good, all right. So I'd really love to get some questions from you guys. It will be really nice to get some questions from you. Some questions from you. If you don't have any question, it's okay. I'm going to quickly share with you a form where you can put your names for if you have any inquiry or how you felt about the training, you can quickly put your suggestion there. So as I look for that form, let's look at our very last agenda, which is understand and analyze your data. So this is the final agenda, and to help us understand that, let me introduce you to Google Analytics dashboard and run you through some of the features and insights you can gain to take your marketing further. So if you look at the Google Analytics dashboard, so there's the geographic location. So geographic location to means where are they coming from. So geographic in the sense that they could be coming in Africa, Europe, maybe Asia or something, or they could be coming from in terms of region or in terms of town. And then there is also popularity over time. So how the pages have been popular over what period of time. And of course, there is the active users. Do we have how many are active? How many people have been able to visit your website? And also how you acquire those users who are coming into your website. So I want us to look at how to set up a Google Analytics. It's not very hard to set up a Google Analytics. So the first one is if you don't already have a Google Analytics account, then it's very easy. So what you do is, so there is this page called Google Analytics, which is google.com.analytics. Let me share it with you here so that you can try. So this is the page. So google.com.analytics. So that is the first page, the first step that you just copy that into the URL. And then after that, so you can have, so you name your account. if you have one account, and also the reason why it's important to name your account is because you can have multiple accounts. So give it a name, so name your account, and then choose industry category to help you when you benchmark against others who have tagged the same industry. So you have to choose this category. Yeah, you could be in hospitality, you could be in electronics, you could be in tour farm, or you could be in so you have to put your categories right. And then I'm also going to share with you a link where you can learn more about Google Analytics. It can help so that you can learn so much more about Google Analytics. All right, so once you are in Google Analytics, so let us look at where you can put the tracking code. And what do we mean by the tracking code? So so this one is usually very popular with e-commerce. So there's usually a tracking code where you're able to track if somebody is interested in your product. When the person chose your product, did they add it to the? So you're able with the code, you're able to track if they added it to the cart. The same also with your code, you're able to track it if the checkout and the payment was made. So tracking code is very, very important. So to track your website performance, you'll need to add the correct tracking code to each page. So you can, we are going to look at where do you put that tracking code. Where do you find it and where do you put it if you have an e-commerce or a blog or something? So from the interface that you have, when using a website builder or a blog, it may be simple field where you just add a tracking code to your website, but for some cases you have to code it. So let us look at understanding the 4 main areas of reporting. So we have who are my users, which is audience. How do they find me, which is acquisition. What do they do when they're on my site? So when they're on my website or when they're on my blog, have they completed the goals that they wanted to? So you can have goals in so many ways. So when I talk about goals, we talk about conversion. So for hotels, the goals could be people booking. You go to the website and you book, that is a goal. For blogs, the goal is you sign up to their news article. That could be a goal. For apps, it could be you go to App Store and download their website. Downloading is one of the goals, which is conversion. So we have different goals. All right, so let's look at data in Google Analytics, which we've looked at. So when you look at the interface that we have there, we have the dimensions. Under dimensions, we have a lot of other dimensions. We have the platforms or the channels. So it could be the channel, social media channels, so or it could be it could be a Facebook, Twitter, or something. And then we have the metrics. So when you're talking about metrics, we're talking about new users, the recurring or even sessions. So under the data we have, and when you talk about dimensions, we have socials, which I've mentioned. We have affiliates, display, referrals. And when you talk about metrics, we're talking about numbers. So metrics is majorly on numbers, and the numbers have been. So you remember the real concept that we talked about? So the real concept that we talked about help us to understand the right questions to ask. And here under the reach, we are talking about identify which search terms are driving the organic traffic to your website. Look to improve links from your social media platforms, and then develop relationship with the referral website to drive traffic to your website. Engage. What are people engaging with when they find you online? Learn which pages are not getting any views. Discover what is really engaging to your visitors. For example, you could discover that you lost a lot of people, at the payment page. So somebody add a product in the cart, but instead of paying, the guy disappears. Under activate, what channel is driving the most booking? Identify which referring website drive traffic to conversion. For referring sites, bring good quality traffic. So when you're talking about referring websites, so these are websites that has a lot of traffic. And one way you can link them with the website or mention them in your website. So in that case, they'll be driving traffic to your website and they will be doing a lot of referrals to you. Google Trends, which we've looked at. So the Google Trends homepage, so this is how it looks like. So you can explore what the world is searching for by entering a keyword or a topic. See stories curated by the News Lab at the Google that provides additional insight found in the data. You can see daily search trends, see trends by year. You can find guidance materials about News Labs. So the trending searches page shows the trending searches around the world. You can click on a story to get more context like that. And of course, we have the daily search trends and the real-time search trends. We're almost done, so don't worry. We are just about some few slides and we will be done. Let's look at how to promote your business around seasonal trends. So seasonal trends allow your business to stay relevant and competitive. So throughout the year, your business will experience peaks and dips that will impact your revenue. And you can create a content about current demand or adjust the demand. So for instance, like right now we're heading into a cold season. So people will be buying a lot of jackets. So that is like a seasonal trend. So we have some more seasonal trends. And of course, we have Google Trends. So how to use Google Trends for keyword research. So Google Trends shows what searches and keywords are trending. So you can use related queries section to use trends to identify other potential keyword tags. Name your products categories according to popular keywords. Optimize your post according to the trending keywords. So we have Anika, so we have EG Anika looks for blouses. And here are the related keywords to search for. So keywords basically is you need to look at the words that people use or related words that people use to look for products. And we are almost heading to the end of our session. And at this point, let me see if we have questions. If we don't have, I would like to ask, what are your next steps? So after taking this session, we've been looking at how to use data and insights to help grow your business. So after taking this session, what is your next step? Are you going to have your business listed on Google My Business, or are you going to take the next step of going and learning more about what we've just discussed? Just let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box what is your next step. And also, keep following us on social media through through Twitter, through Facebook and Instagram. And I'm sharing the links with you shortly. So follow us on Instagram. You can also follow us on Facebook using the link that you have. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Digital Skills AF. So please take a few minutes, like those pages and follow us. So through those pages, you'll be able to get in touch with us, get to know when we're going to have our next training, get to know what new contents we have, so that you can keep on engaging. And then finally, I just want to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to those who have been us from when we started, right when we started to this juncture. And I'm really pleased that that you guys have kept me company. And I hope that the session was very informative. But the session do not stop here. We have around 18 different topics that we will be covering every week, depending on our schedule. So please feel free to engage with with us. I can see somebody saying that my interest is to use tools to find which business is growing in agricultural business. Exactly, that is very true. Remember, we mentioned a number of tools that you could use. We mentioned, Google Search Console. We mentioned Google Analytics, and so what you can do. Oro, are you able to share? Are you able to share the form link so that you can get in touch with Ramasamy? So we have, when you're using search trends, for instance, it's going to tell you which keywords are trending in the agricultural sector, and how can you use those keywords yourself to market. And of course, if you have a website, you can go to Google Analytics, and it will just tell you which pages within your Google Analytics is doing better, what pages is really doing well. Do your visitors like to interact with images, or do they like to interact with blogs or even videos? So that is really going to help you. So the best part is, once you sign up with once you link it with your Google Analytics, you are able to put the sector which you are in, like if you are in agricultural sector, and then from there now you'll be able to know much more about the keywords, some of the pages that are doing better. So I don't want to take much of your time. I was your trainer, Evans Rabare, right here in Addis. And with me, who was on the chat box, is Joseph Orwa, right, all the way from Addis Ababa and all the way from Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. And it's been a real pleasure being with you. See you next time. And if you have any question, please, you can get in touch with us through the form that has just been shared. So at this point, I will say ciao and see you next time. Thank you.